So recording on this computer, welcome to today's live trading New York session with pitchforks. And let's start sharing screen. There wasn't any news that we could see today. That's it. Okay, that's working. So let's have a look. This is a trade I'm in at the moment. It's a very old pitchfork. This is Great British Pound, New Zealand dollar. It's just crossed above the quarter theory. It's a very fast pair, and the space between the pitchforks is over 140. So I've just set the alarm for there. The 62's just crossed above quarter theory, but depending on how we get on, I might get out at that pitchfork there, because it's quite a wild pair, and I find it a bit stressful to actually be in trades. I just happen to have been in it while it was sort of sludging along there, but you can see it's crossed this 1 minute trend line now. I'll just show you originally where it was. So it was this very big pitchfork. Here, with the D point of the 1st of July 2019. And it's created all those scans since, which shows you what a fast pair it is. And that's where it is at the moment. So it could be that it will go back up to this level, because you can see that W shape, and the bankers will have money up here 2nd of June. They've already collected back in all this money, and that is at 2.000. But we'll see. Let me just get it back so I can see it. So that's 365, 395. It's about 400 days old, that scan. And it's just coming up to set, if you don't mind while I watch this for a minute. So it's strong upward momentum, but I did notice like GCAD correlating pairs, that's just on top of the 15 minutes. It's off that D point. It didn't give us a break and a retest off the D point, which is what we like. So I found the market's a bit difficult today in that sense. It's gone up straight up past that pitchfork to the 15 minute. GCAD's also a fast pair. Tested the 15 minute, and now the orange is coming up above the blue. You've had a break and a retest there of 14 pips. So if it comes back up to the 60, back down to the 62, a little bit off there. So technically there would be an entry on GCAD. Try and pick up your 1 minute trend line. 1, 2, that hasn't got that many touches off that D point. That's about the best I can do. So it's not a brilliant trade. Well, we've got 3 touches. So that's GCAD for you. going up. Let me look at GN again. Just coming back down. But my 62 is curling up. GCAD, CAD JPY, no trade on this at the moment, so I'm going to shut that one down. Better write these down, otherwise we'll forget where we are. So 11th, the 8th, GCAD, GN, CAD, JPY. Euro USD. Euro USD, I thought that was going to be a buy, and then it, where were we this morning? So it was on its way up. It then sludged along between our price trap. At the end of London, it did quite a move down, and then it's broken that previous low, and it's carried on for the 20 pips. So you did have a break and a retest. How many pips was that? 8.7 break and retest here, and then not on the upside, of course, before the hour, but entry point there, and it's just about doing your 20 pips now. So pitchfork touch, which is mandatory, check 1, break and retest, check 2, below the 62, check 3, and you had your 62 pitchfork and quarter theory all in the same area on Euro USD. Euro USD, let's write that one down, but nothing for us at the moment until it now comes down to our next level. So waiting for it to come down to here. Euro USD will make its move usually in the first hour of London and this first proper hour of New York. So I'm going to shut that one. Whoops. I want to do that. Shut that one down. Euro CAD. Euro CAD. Let me just look on the 15-minute. Was a buy scan. It came back down and it tested. Oh yes, I didn't get in this, and I did want to get in it. And the reason I didn't get in it, which was very annoying, was because it came down just there on that quarter theory, missed it by 0.9 of a pip. So I thought, okay then, is it going to come down to the pitchfork, or is that going to hold it? And it gave us another entry. So there it was saying, please buy me. So that was the break and the retest. This was the D pitchfork. So it didn't retest the pitchfork because the quarter theory held it twice. So at that point, that was, but then it needed to get above the 62 because the 62 was still in the downward momentum. So that's why I didn't get in that. Now, how far off was that? So there, waiting for it to be above the 62. Also, it was more than a 10 pip stop loss. So that was a tricky one. It did do the 20 pips. I was watching it here. That was for those of you who've just joined, this was the scan off the D point. So I was waiting just on that, to come down here. It did 2 rejections there, but by the time the 62, because you want to get in when it's above the 62, it shot up and now it's shooting down again. Now it might give us another entry. Because it is a buy scan. So we're now looking for, is it going to do another rejection here? But you can see that the 62 has not actually crossed the 15-minute blue line. It's curled round So it does want to come back down to this level. And let's look at the pivots. So it's formed lower lows there, did form a higher high. That was the channel down, little channel up, but it's trying to press down again, I think. So for this one, for us to get in again, number one, we're only interested in buys up into the median. And number two, we wouldn't want to get in on it at all until the 62 decides it's going to curl back up around again. So we can put an alert on down there and just see how we get on.
Sarah?
Hello.
Where did you get that scan from?
This one?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Can't find it.
Okay, hang on. Let me just put an alert on there. EuroCAD. D point, 11th of August at 09. This one, H1, FX choice, that was off. Second one down. And then there was a new GCAD scan there with D point at 11th of August at 12.
Yep, got it. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I've put the alert down there. It's just so it's pressing on down. I'll move that down there. And let's see what happens with that one, because obviously we're not going to get into a buy while the orange line, the 62, is acting as a ceiling, pressing down on us. Let me just save that one. GA. GA, don't quite know, can't remember why. Oh, yes, because I've got the pitchfork there. But the stop loss is quite big, isn't it, between the pitchfork and the quarter theory? That was when I was looking at that. The orange had crossed above the blue and above the quarter theory. So if it gives us a break and a retest, then we've got enough here. We will have a pitchfork touch check, a break and retest check, 2 and above the 62. We've got a and above quarter theory. That's on the hour. I've got touches to both sides. I can't really see. GA's a very fast pair. So let's see how much that's moved off now. 11.7 pips. So if that plays nicely, we want that to come up a little bit more to the pitchfork, and we want that to retest our pitchfork. Or for that to come up and that to test our 1 minute line and carry on up, but we might be too far off the pitchfork. I can't see where else to put that 1 minute trend line. I could go right out there. That's got some more touches down that end. So I could do it wider like that. That might be better. And see if it comes back down, tests and then goes. That's not right. Oh, that's coming up nicely. See if it'll do that for us. But some of them today have just been shooting straight up, haven't they? Or down. Right, so I'll put an alert on that. Got the magnet on. Settings. Let's see if that plays out. So that's GA. Or USD. It's come right outside those extensions now. I was looking at it to see if it would ping them back in, and it hasn't done that, but that 15-minute might. I don't know, it looks like a strong momentum on that 62, taking it down to the next quarter theory. I'm not sure where the next scans are on this one. If I've got anything hidden. No, I haven't got any. I haven't got any hidden scans. Whoops, I won't do that. Let me look on the hourly. So that's shoveling down quite a lot, but I can't see a trade on this because I haven't got. There's a scan. I haven't got a scan until down here. What's it say on the 4 hourly? So price has gone right up here outside all my scans. Unless I had something where I could draw. Could I draw that on? Could I draw a second with a second pitchfork on there? If I hide that one, let's hide some of these just to tidy it up. So if we settings, just reduce this down and show you how to do. I don't know if it'll pick it up. We'll see. So to do a second pitchfork, it must be in the opposite direction to the current scan. So you cannot have it pointing the same way down. And you're going to draw it so you pick up the pitchfork on either the C point or the D point. And if you can't pick up either of those, then it's what's called best fit. So to draw a second pitchfork, pick up your pitchfork, put the first point out into the middle of nowhere. The second point, I'll turn the magnet off now, onto the X, and the next one onto the A. So X, A, I'll just bring that up in white. So that's our second pitchfork, pointing in the opposite direction. Take the magnet off. So we've got to come down to the 1 minute and make sure those points are on accurately, but just so you can visually see it. So if I try to line that up with that C point, that's no good to us because it's pointing down in the same direction, and that's a no-no on a second pitchfork. So we're going to have to see if we can line it up with the D, that's not going to work for us because it's not picking price up. So in this case, you then go for best fit with as many touches as you can, using the median line, which is this middle solid line, as your main guide. And then we'll come down to the 1 minute and get it on accurately. So that will work for us. So I could put the C on the extension. I've got some wicking through there. I've got some perfect touches there. Perfect touch there. A perfect touch there. A little bit of wicking through, and I've got some perfect touches there. So I've got a wick through there. So that's not too bad. I might just take that up a little bit if I can. So I've picked up 1, 2, 3. That's a bit off up there. I've got a perfect touch there off the quarter theory. So that's not, and I've got some good touches there. So that's, I know it's a bit difficult. That's why we call this one a bit more advanced, because you do want to, you see, you can't, that's not going to work. So use your best fit. I think off the extension is the best one, as it won't fit elsewhere. Perfect touch there. Perfect touches along there. Perfect touch there. Some very nice touches there. Very nice touches there. So I'm happy with that. Very nice touches all along that top side. So once we've done that, I'll just lock that on so I don't glitch it. Come down to the 1 minute. And this is why we like trading this style, because we can trade even if Vibrata or the Harmonic scanner isn't working. You can just do your own thing on holiday, pick up these old scans, and they, as you can see, very, very accurate. So I may have to go to the 5 minute because it's that far back. And here we are. So you can see it's just off, which is no good. So get that X on there. No. And the A. And let's look and see where the C point is now. So you can see it's missed it there. And this is the one we want to line up. Oh, alert on EuroCAD. And GA. Right, hang on a minute. GA, where are you? Right, GA's come back to the 62, the 1 minute trend line, and the pitchfork, but it seems to be breaking through. So we don't want to consider that for a buy at the moment till it decides it's going to break to the upside, or is it going to fall back down to the 15 minute and the quarter theory, sit between that region there. And then EuroCAD, we've got the touch to the pitchfork, which it didn't do over here. but it looks quite strongly down, doesn't it? So if we only want to buy on this because it's of that's the D point pitchfork, so that's no good to us if it's going to carry on falling. So we could just move our, we can leave the alert there because we need it to turn around. So AUD USD. Let me just finish what I'm doing here. So what touches have I got? So I've got touches along there. Have I still got it lined up nicely? So I think I'll just got some nice touches there and there. It moved it slightly off. So I think that's about the best I can get it. So that's why the second pitchfork is a bit more advanced, because it's judgment on where your touches are. But that's off the C point on the extension, and we've got it accurately on the X and A. So if we come back up to our current price, and while we've been talking, it's dropped back down. So we've got, it's broken that trend, hasn't it? If we look on the pitchforks, pivots. So a lot of stalling out at the same level, and 637651 hasn't quite broken the previous low, but you can see how the orange 62 is coming down quite hard. So it looks like it wants to come down this way now. So in terms of a trade, if we do take another buy trade, then we want it to come down and turn off that line like this, reject up to there, or do that. So we're only looking for two things. So I'll mark it up as a buy. At the moment, but we have got on that 1 minute, there's our upward trend, or that, which it's broken, just broken that. So it's broken that now. So is it going to come down here, reject, and come back up? In which case we want that 62 to curl round. Or is it going to go through there and down like this? So we don't know on this one, do we? So we'll put that there. So sometimes I do this so that I remember when I come back onto it. I haven't got to think, well, what was I doing with this one? So I'm not sure. I think this is going to carry on up because of the analysis we've done with that second pitchfork. However, at the moment, we've got the orange pointing downwards saying it's selling. We've got the pitchfork saying buying, because it's obviously done that big rejection off. But then we've got that 1 minute trend has broken there. So I'm going to put an alert on here. I'll just move that up in a minute. Let's see what happens when it hits that trend line. So that's AUD USD. We haven't looked at that one for a while. Now I know why. We didn't have any pitchforks. GN has where's the half-hour candle? So GN on the half-hour candle. Now this is a very fast pair, so it is above quarter theory, but it is that, I forget what they call them, that little lower hammer thing. I'm never very good at remembering candlesticks names. I haven't learnt them all, the names and everything. So it's still moving up, but slowly for GN. That's the 15-minute, still above the quarter theory, and the 1 minute still above, but it's now below the 62, and that's AUD USD. Hang on, we'll go back and look at that. That was so I wanted it, so I should have come out of that maybe round about there, but it only made about 8 to 10 pips. So at the moment, oh, and EuroCAD, they're all going off at the same time. Oh, blimey, hang on a minute. So hang on, I've got to have a think about this. 3 going off at the same time. So there's all that stall out along quarter theory and above the 62. It's a very fast pair. It looks to me that's shoveling it down. So it looks to me like actually it wants to come on down. So I might have lost this one. So that was equal highs, higher high, higher low. Got a higher low there. Well, I'll leave it alone at the moment. Let me turn the pivots off. Right, EuroCAD. EuroCAD, that is our D point. Still below the 62. Break and retest. So we're not interested in this because it's selling. That's done a 10 pip break and retest. This is the D point pitchfork, remember. So we're not interested in selling this. There's your D point. It's not a big enough scan. 33. So we'll leave that one alone until it comes back up to that zone. So nothing on GCAD. GN, Euro GBP. So Euro GBP, I'm not in it, but I had it marked up like that because I was looking at it earlier. Pitchfork and quarter theory, outer extensions, the inner Fibonacci break and retest has happened after the London to New York crossover, and now it's working its way down. So the only thing that was a little bit awkward was that it, technically you should cover your quarter theory and pitchfork, increase that stop loss a bit. So that's moving down nicely. But it happened before we came on. It's not a hugely fast moving pair, and also it is a London pair, Euro GBP, so it's considered quite a similar pair, but the orange is now crossed below the blue. That was the 20 pips, so you had the break and the retest. You've got the pitchfork touch, and then the third confirmation would be coming below the 62 there. Was that, when was the hour? That's your hourly candles up here. So that would have been a nice one. So the next level to look at on that one, I can see some old pitchforks beneath that. Oh, that's, hang on a minute, that's the wrong way round. That is not, why did I have it marked up like that? sorry, that's not the right scan for that one. I do beg your pardon. I'm going to have to take that off. I don't know why I put that on like that. So the 62 had crossed down, but that's the scan there. This is there's another scan. It's just about in. Let me just change the settings on that. It's this one. It's in this one at the moment. So it's coming down again. And this scan is must be that one there. I can't quite see it. This one with a D point from 27th of July. So it's worked its way down. That's that other scan that it's now out of with that point there. Worked its way down, worked its way down, and it looks like it wants to hit that outer level again down near this quarter theory. So let's have a look at a markup on that. So break and retest below the 62. I think we've missed. We're too late off that. It's not going to come back. Downward trend. There's an hourly fake out there, 47. So we'll put the trend line off those points there, and it's below the 62. So it did give us, that has happened while we've been on 6.3. So maybe not quite enough. Pivots show us lower lows there and lower highs. 782, 800, so it's just creeping down. It's not a very fast pair. Not moving in a very big channel at the moment. So it's stalled out in the crossover, made a move down, retested the 62 and the pitchfork. So if it does come back up, then you could do a channel trade down from there, which is your green pitchfork. I'll change it to white for the purposes of today. Might make it a bit clearer from the channel. So that's 89835. What's GN doing? Well, that's very nice. I'm going to have to stop. No, I'm actually in this. This is why I don't like being in trade sometimes when I'm on live, because especially these fast pairs. That one I was bricking myself thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to have to leave it. Stopped out at 15 pips. And then it does that to you. 3 stall outs. Such a wild pair, this and GCAD. And then it's done the 15 pips. So technically I need to do something with this. So if I clone that, Now the mistake I made this morning, and I got stopped out on one that I think it was GU, is I didn't move it 3 pips behind the 62. I had a 1 pip, so I got taken out. I think that was GU that Connor got very successfully. So technically I should stay. I do hate these fast pairs though, so let me think. I mean, when I'm doing this as well. So 3 pips is, I don't hate them, I don't mean to sound like that. 3 pips is just about there. And that would be our previous low is down there. 582. Right, so that's carrying on up. So technically, with a fast pair like this, if I move my stop loss to stop profit at 3 pips behind the 62, that's 3.4, be 1.98, 1.98555 thereabouts. And then technically I'd be looking for a fast pair like this to hopefully give you the 40 pips up there. But, and it has broken that one. See, and that was my 1 minute trend, and then it did all that, such a fast pair. So I'll just stop sharing screen if you don't mind while I sort myself out, because I still haven't, is that okay? Sorry about that. Nine, 8, 5, 5, 5. Okay. Oh, I've got something in the chat. No mic or camera yet, but I'll be in chat. Can everyone else hear me? I presume so. Yes, because Babs asked me a question. Right, share screen again. So that's coming up very nicely. So 3 pips behind now would be 570. And now 570 there. Oh, that's going up really fast. So when you're in these fast pairs, and this is fast money, you always want to say to yourself, you know, fast money up, secure the bag, because if it's going up that fast, it can equally just plummet the other way on you. So we'll just see if I can get it to quarter theory. That's now up 30 pips. So it'd be nice to get the 40. But as soon as it turns, I'm going to stop sharing the screen and get out. But technically price will move between levels. It's broken the previous ones. The 62 is pointing up very nicely. If you just bear with me for a minute. So we're 7 seconds, 6 off this last candle. And that's green. No, I've got 20, 28, 33. That's just coming up nicely. And it's just coming up to 10 minutes before the hour as well. So I'm going to close this in any second. And that's wicking off. So stop share. I'm going to come out of that. And that was 30 pips. So I've come out of that. Could just be a little bit of a retrace. It's a very fast pair, 10 out of 10. 10 minutes before the hour. I don't want to suffer, particularly being on this call. It's nothing to do with anyone else. I don't want to suffer a big drop back down on these big pairs. You know, it could come right back down there and then decide it is carrying on up. But I can't be unhappy with 30 pips on that one in. Okay, I got in earlier. That is true, because I've suffered quite a lot through that little bit along quarter theory. But when it took off, well, when did I get in? I can't remember now. It must have been about there. Went up. Not quite sure. I'd have to look at my trader. Let's say I got in 14.53. I think I was in a bit before that. But from the point at which it took off, that only took 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure I must have been in it about an hour, something like that, beforehand. Somewhere around about here. So that's GN. So Euro CAD, oh, look at that. How do you legislate for that? So you've got, we know we wanted to buy. We said, okay, it's pushing it down. We'll wait for the 62 to curl around. Then it takes off in a way that makes it difficult for us to get in on this one, I think, because we don't want to get in it while it's below the 62. So we could not have, there's that little indecision candle. We could not have got in it until that candle there. Your breaks and retests were right back there, so not that close by. So that 62 is never curled above. So quite a difficult one, I think. And also, if we got in up there, that would have been 10 pips off quarter theory and 12 off the pitchfork. So really, 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 really on the edge of even getting into it. So I don't think you can legislate for that sort of thing. That is not an easy trade, that one at all, because of the break and the retest being back here. Then it, because I nearly got in there, but I wouldn't have got in till that point there anyway, which is the same thing as here. So yes, I missed it because I got called away. So that missed by 0.9 of a pip, but it gave another rejection. This is the D point pitchfork. I would have been happy to have got in there, and then it would have done, that would have done the 20 pips actually. That would have done the 20 pips. Once you saw it stalling out, then get out, and then it dropped right down, and then you got the similar entry there, but no further break and retest. So our next entry point is now here, 20 pips up to that quarter theory. Again, break and a retest, and the 62 needs to keep coming up here quite hard. 10 pips stop loss, so you need your 3 confirmations. You haven't got quarter theory protecting you. I can't see a fib to put on that either, and that's gone up quite fast. So it's just coming up to that level now actually. So not the easiest one, that one, Euro CAD, I don't think. GCAD was a difficult one because off the D point, it didn't give you a break and a retest. It gave you a break and a retest there to the 15-minute. It dropped right below. It then played along, dropped again to the same level, and then it's just taken off here. So I wouldn't have found that one easy to get into either. I can't read that one particularly clearly. Trend line like that, no break and retest off the pitchfork until it just went straight up. But you did get 1, 2, 3, and then it dropped right down to the same level. So again, it's a similar thing where you're not getting these simple breaks and retests. there's a strong engulfing blue candle up there. So that would have given you your entry, but your 1 minute trend line is a little bit difficult. There's not a lot of touches. 1, 2, just misses that one. So maybe touch to the other side there.
Can you have a look at UCAD, Sarah, please?
Yeah. Right. So very strong downward trend that's now been broken. The consolidation period in the New York crossover, and then it's on its way up. The orange is saying buy, the quarter theory is saying buy, but it is now in a price trap at the moment. So if we were looking for this for a buy, we wouldn't want to get into it until here.
Different pitchfork to you again.
Oh, is it me that's behind? I tried to catch up earlier on.
The pitchfork I've got is right across the quarter theory.
Oh, wow. Well, that's excellent then.
Hang on, I'll tell you.
Oh, there's UCAD. UCAD BAT, not that one, is it? That's dropped off the bottom. It can't be that one. That's only 59.
The point on the 26th of June I've got here.
Oh, okay.
1400.
Right. Yeah, that's 1400. I've got it at 1600. I've got it your time. It's a cell scan.
Yeah.
Right, let's bring that one up then. I'll bring that up in white. And then fade out that one. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you're saying. Right, so we've had one rejection of the quarter theory in pitchfork back to testing the 62, second rejection, just a bit of slippage there, and forming these higher I just wanted to, I think I'll bring back up the current pitchfork though, just in faded out. Change the color of it to green. Right, so the one we're using, I've got it the wrong, not the wrong way around, different way around from how we usually do it. I've got the one that we're using in white, but the most recent pitchfork is the green one. So at the moment it's forming, it's not that, that 62 is struggling to break the pitchfork and the quarter theory, and that's evidenced by the fact that we've got lower highs forming there. So if we take that off, is it parallel channel that you use?
Yeah.
Is that right? Oh, is that right?
I do it from the, I would have done it from the bottom up.
Oh, okay. Not done that before, have I? From the bottom up, parallel channel.
Do your normal trend line.
Yeah.
And then when you click it,
It does that.
yeah.
Nice. And do you take the background off?
I don't know, but
So there's one channel, and let's put another one on. Do your normal trend line. So that would be that.
then click.
Then click. Oh yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah, I love it. So
Saves you cloning everything.
yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? So, oh, and then it keeps the angle.
Yeah.
Because that's the important thing. You must keep the angle. So this is showing us that new. So there's a channel up there, and now it's broken. It's broken that channel with a big break and a retest back. So it's formed a new channel, and you can see the 62 is now curling down at the moment. So that's what's happening on this one. It's selling at the moment. So we've got technically we've got 62 pitchfork and quarter theory saying it's all buying, haven't we? but there are definitely lower highs forming. And normally the most recent scan takes precedence, but there we have 956 equal lows, equal. So that seems to say that it's bottomed out once it does that. Equal lows, there's another equal low there. So it's not going anywhere downwards, but it's formed lower highs. So it's just sludging along and not deciding what it wants to do. It can't break any lower at the moment. So I wonder if it's going to stick between the old pitchfork, in this case the white one, and the new one. But it looks to me like it's going down. So if we got in that for a sell, we haven't really, how much of a break have we got? Only 4.5, and it's not making any progress downwards.
I was looking at it for a buy when it actually did the original break and retest of pitchfork.
I can imagine you'd be looking at it for a buy. I totally agree. I was thinking buy, but then once we started to look at it, I can't see that at the moment, except the 62 is now curling up. So I agree with you on bias. I'd say buy, because it can't break this 3 equal bottoms here. But what's confusing me is the lower highs there. It's broken that channel at the moment. But you're right in that it's having terrible trouble. It's tried to slip through 3 times and not managed to get any further, only 4.5 pips. And now it's coming up again. So, but I think even if you did a buy on it, you've still got to remember that the current pitchfork takes precedence. And that's 10 pips away. Well, let's have a look. What are the other? What's happening with the other correlating pairs for USD? That's the other thing I do. So GBP USD. If we come over here, then what is happening on this? So this should be going down. The GBP should be going down. If we want the US dollar to go up, technically, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that's off that scan here, which is a sell scan. 62 pitchfork and quarter theory is saying buy, but again, here's the New York reversal. That's on the 15-minute chart, is forming lower highs, which seems to indicate that the GBP is coming down. And that's off a scan from, very nice, D point, 6th of August, hit the median, and there it is. So that should, GBP should be selling. Let's come back to the 1 minute, see where it is in relation to that quarter theory. So I wouldn't mind looking at, we're nearly out of time, short position on there to there, 10 pips stop loss, 20 pips. That must be an old thing I've got going on there. So I like to keep that as a reminder that price might stall out there. And let's go back and look at, so there's a sell trade idea coming up if it carries on moving down, with the 62 moving down into this area, but not till you've done a break and a retest off that white pitchfork, and it is a sell scan on GBP USD. But personally, I don't get into these things after tea time too late at night, because I find I know last Friday Warren's traded 62 pips on EN, and I was going, oh, it's Friday afternoon, being like Eeyore, but they can catch you out. And I mean, I did see it go the 62 pips. So sorry about that. It was a pretty darn good trade, that good spot. Right, USD CAD. So there we are, it shot up with the 62 coming up. So again, you see, I find that quite a difficult one, because my most recent pitchfork would make me want to adhere to that. You've got a very strong old scan, 62 above it and the pitchfork. It gave you, say that one's a bit too far back, but it gave you 1, 2 breaks and retests, but it did form lower highs. So I have found the markets a bit confusing today, I admit. 8.4. So
I find it confusing every day. So,
well, I think your Friday one was, you knocked a home run there. That was fantastic. That Euro NZD you saw on the Friday afternoon, bloody brilliant that was. But you see why this is confusing, because you've got equal bottoms there. You've got all that running along. We're looking at an old pitchfork. That's the new pitchfork. It broke the current channel up to a down, and now it's saying, oh, all right then. Do you know what? I am going to go up where I said I was going to go, off the old pitchfork. It may just come up to the 15-minute and then come down again. So I didn't find that an easy trade to take, that one. But the only way you improve is just by back testing them, and just, you know, press, if you've got the replay, I press the replay button and just see how price moved. And let me just see what GN ended up doing. Well, you see, that was the right decision to come out at the 30 pips. I got 30 off that, partly because I was on the call, but I saw it wicking out. I would have liked to have gone to the 40, but I thought, well, I can't grumble at 3 to 1. And sure enough, it's turned back round again. And that's partly because it went up so fast. Bit of a retrace back. Well, 15 pips I gave up there. And I was lucky it didn't take me out down here either on the spread. So so that ended up all right. And that did 38 pips in the end off the point at which I got in. So that's all for today. I hope that's been helpful. I've been using 5 pip stop loss there while learning. Is 10 better? Always a 10 pip stop loss on the 1 minute strategy, Vanda, except for 5 pairs which are very fast, where we have a 15 pip stop loss, and that's GA, GBP Australian dollar, GBP New Zealand dollar, GBP JPY, Euro NZD, and Euro AUD. Those 5 pairs are 10 out of 10 in terms of speed, meaning they wick up and down, they move, they're very volatile and move very fast, and you need 15 pips. So 5 pip stop loss, no, never, 10 pip minimum. And then you move your, as a general rule, move your stop loss to stop profit when you've got your 1-to-1 ratio, i.e. 10 pips up on a 10 pip stop loss pair, etc. Or you look at the 62 EMA, the orange line, and move your stop loss up, squeezing, pinching it up or down, about 3 pips behind the 62 or the previous low or high to keep you in the game. I got stopped out on GU this morning. I wasn't concentrating. Connor did a great trade, and I'd moved it to 1 pip stop profit, but I was above the 62. And I thought, why on earth did you do that? I should have been 3 pips behind it. So that's generally our rules. So thanks for joining. I'll be back on tomorrow. It's Chance at 8 a.m. UK time on channel 20 with this strategy, and then I follow him straight on at 9 a.m. your time for London. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, see you, Warren. Bye. Thanks for joining.